against Caitlin Clark, but a member of the Chicago Sky, the national title winner at LSU. And she talked about where all this attention started with her and Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese spoke to the media. She didn't speak to the media after the game.
It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, like, yeah, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball.
Dan Patrick just dropped a bombshell on the WNBA's biggest rivalry. He straight up said Angel Reese is building her entire brand on being Caitlin Clark's villain, and the evidence is stacking up fast. Think about it. Every time Clark gets the spotlight, Reese seems to find a way to redirect it. Remember that Time magazine cover? Instead of celebration, we got controversy. Is Patrick right that this is all calculated career moves by Reese? The receipts might shock you. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Okay.
People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates.
If she would have left it with what she had to say right before the last couple of words, I would have been fine with it. She's embraced the villain. She understands social media. She's done quite well.
Dan Patrick just dropped a massive truth bomb that has WNBA fans completely divided. He basically called out Angel Reese for intentionally playing the villain against Caitlin Clark to boost her own brand. This isn't just some random take. Patrick laid out a whole strategic analysis that's got everyone talking about what's really happening between these two stars. Here's the thing. Patrick compared Reese's approach to Draymond Green's tactics in the NBA. You know how Draymond is always at the center of controversy, right? Patrick is saying Reese is following that exact same playbook, creating drama on purpose to stay relevant and build a personal brand that goes way beyond just basketball skills.
And then she doesn't even celebrate with her teammates. So she's made it personal with Caitlin Clark. Then she's played off of that. Even Caitlin Clark getting knocked down in that game on Saturday, who's standing up applauding but Angel Reese? She is cashed in, literally cashed in. But her attention, her notoriety is based off Caitlin Clark. Because she wins the national title, first thing she does, she mocks Caitlin Clark. So she's sort of embraced a Draymond Green role here. But the eyeballs on the WNBA really have to do with Caitlin Clark. Now, you might, if you stay long enough, maybe you'll see something or someone there you go, okay.
It's like she's creating a character that guarantees headlines no matter what happens on the court. The evidence Patrick points to is pretty eye-opening. Remember that play where Reese appeared to hit Clark in the head during a game and then just carried on like nothing happened? Patrick didn't hold back. He flat out suggested this wasn't just competitive basketball, but a calculated move to provoke a reaction and generate headlines. Was it just part of the game or something more strategic? According to Patrick, these incidents aren't random. They're part of a bigger plan to establish herself as a central figure in the WNBA's story. But Patrick went even further. He straight up suggested that Reese shows signs of jealousy towards Clark's massive impact on the WNBA. That's a serious claim. He pointed out how Reese seems to insert herself into Clark's spotlight moments.
Right? You tuned in. No matter what event Tiger was playing you were going to watch, they're still trying to capitalize on him. Playing in the U.S. Open. I'm entertained by this. But there's nothing wrong with admitting that you watch a sport because of one singular person. People watched golf because of Tiger. NBC and Peacock, their graphic has Scottie Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, and then who's looming larger on the screen but Tiger. So they're still trying to squeeze everything they can out of Tiger.
Almost like she can't stand to see Clark getting all the attention. It's not just about on-court rivalry, it's about controlling the narrative and maintaining relevance as Clark's popularity explodes. You know what's really telling? The numbers don't lie. Since Clark joined the league, ticket sales have absolutely skyrocketed. Arenas that used to be half empty are now sold out. TV ratings are through the roof. And Patrick noted that as all this was happening, suddenly Reese started talking about how she's responsible for bringing in new fans and higher ratings too. It's like she couldn't let Clark get credit for the WNBA's newfound popularity. The Wayne Gretzky comparison was particularly interesting. Patrick basically said Clark is having the same transformative effect on the WNBA that Gretzky had on the NHL, a once-in-a-generation talent that completely changes how people view an entire sport. But according to Patrick, there seems to be this unwillingness from some people, particularly in Reese's camp, to fully acknowledge Clark's unique influence. Instead, there's this constant push to share the spotlight or diminish what Clark brings to the table. Patrick pointed to Reese's post-game interviews as clear evidence of this pattern. When reporters ask about Clark's impact on the league, Reese consistently shifts the conversation back to herself. Instead of acknowledging Clark's role in the WNBA's growth, she pushes a different narrative, one where she claims responsibility for the new fans and increased visibility. Patrick sees this as a calculated move to control the conversation and position herself as equally important to the league's success. Remember that Time magazine cover featuring Caitlin Clark? That was a huge moment for women's basketball. But instead of universal celebration, the conversation immediately shifted to questioning why Reese wasn't featured too. Patrick highlighted this as the perfect example of the dynamic he's describing. Rather than celebrating Clark's achievement, there was this immediate attempt to divert attention and make it about Reese's absence from the cover. Perhaps Patrick's most controversial claim is that Reese knows exactly what she's doing, deliberately creating a heel persona that guarantees media coverage and endorsement deals. He believes she's playing the social media game all the way to the bank, recognizing that maintaining this rivalry benefits her brand tremendously. It's like she's capitalized on the massive attention Clark generates, using controversy to increase her own visibility and marketability. What we're seeing isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about marketing, social media influence, and who gets to control the narrative around women's basketball's explosive growth. Patrick suggests Reese has identified a lane as the antagonist to Clark's protagonist, and she's leveraging that position for maximum exposure. So here's what no one's talking about yet. Dan Patrick might actually be onto something deeper here. Playing the villain can get you quick fame, but at what cost? Patrick's hitting on a real concern. Could Reese's approach eventually overshadow her actual skills on the court? Just like with Draymond Green, whose defensive genius often gets lost behind his controversial antics. The long-term question isn't just about who's right in this rivalry, it's about legacy. Will basketball historians remember Reese primarily for her game or for the drama? Business-wise, she's making moves, but Patrick's warning is clear. Manufactured beef might sell tickets now, but true greatness needs substance behind the storyline.